The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not specify a maximum height for panel boards in residences. However, the NEC does address the minimum height through accessibility and clearance requirements. NEC Section 110.3 B requires panel boards to be installed in a location accessible to qualified persons without having to remove obstacles or climb over or remove obstacles. This means the panel board must be readily reachable for inspection, maintenance, and operation. NEC Table 110.16 It specifies a minimum clearance of 3 feet or 914 mm in front of panel boards. This clearance ensures that there is enough space for personnel to safely work on the panel board. Based on these NEC requirements, the minimum height for a panel board in a residence should be at least 78 inches or 2 meters above the floor to provide adequate clearance for access. This height allows a person to stand comfortably in front of the panel board and have sufficient space to open the door and work on the internal components. It's important to note that local building codes or ordinances may have specific height requirements for panel boards that could supersede the NEC recommendations. Therefore, it's crucial to check with the local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. In addition to the NEC and local codes, consider practical factors when determining the panel board height. The panel board should be installed at a height that is convenient for both the installer and the homeowner to access and operate. A height that is too low could be difficult to reach and could pose a tripping hazard. A height that is too high could require the use of a ladder or stool, which could be inconvenient and unsafe. It is generally recommended to mount panel boards at a height that allows for easy wiring and maintenance. This means that the panel board should be positioned so that the wires can be easily routed and connected without excessive bending or strain. The height should also allow for sufficient access to the internal components of the panel board for inspection and repair. When installing a panel board, it is essential to follow all applicable safety precautions. Firstly, always disconnect the power to the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Thirdly, use insulated tools to prevent electric shock. Fourthly, ensure that the panel board is properly grounded to prevent electrical hazards. Fifthly, follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and wiring. Firstly, select a suitable location for the panel board that meets the NEC requirements and local codes. Secondly, ensure that the wall or mounting surface is strong enough to support the weight of the panel board. Thirdly, install the panel board securely using appropriate fasteners. Fourthly, connect the wires to the panel board according to the wiring diagram. Fifthly, label all circuits clearly to identify their function. Firstly, inspect the panel board for any damage or defect. Secondly, test the circuits to ensure that they are working properly. Thirdly, verify that all connections are tight and secure. Fourthly, document the installation for future reference. In summary, the NEC does not specify a maximum height for panel boards in residences, but it does require them to be accessible and have sufficient clearance. The minimum height should be at least 78 inches or 2 meters above the floor to provide adequate access. Local building codes may have additional requirements. Consider practical factors such as convenience and ease of maintenance when determining the panel board height. Always follow safety precautions and the manufacturer's instructions when installing and wiring a panel board.